When you greet someone, you have a tiny window, just seconds, to either become forgettable or unforgettable. What if you could own a piece of their mind, forever? Today, you're about to learn 10 dark psychology tricks that make a simple first interaction burn into someone's subconscious. Each one of them is designed to hijack subtle parts of the brain that most people never notice, until it's too late. If you master these, a single greeting can leave a permanent mark they can't shake off. Let's begin. 1. Lock eyes like you're staring through their soul. Eye contact creates immediate chemical reactions in the brain. When you hold a gaze for just a fraction longer than normal, it forces their subconscious to wake up. It triggers a primal response. This person sees something in me. It's unsettling and magnetic. Most people break eye contact quickly to avoid discomfort. But if you train yourself to maintain it half a second longer, not staring aggressively, just staying present, you cross an invisible threshold in their mind. They feel exposed without understanding why. That tiny moment builds tension. It makes them search your face for clues, wondering what you noticed. Their brain doesn't like unresolved feelings, and you become the person linked to that subtle, unsatisfied tension. The key isn't intensity, it's steadiness. Calm, confident, almost amused. Hold the gaze just long enough to let their subconscious crack open. Then move on before it becomes a conscious discomfort. 2. Echo their energy, then twist it slightly. Mirroring someone's energy builds instant comfort. You reflect their vibe, posture, tone, rhythm, so they feel naturally at ease. Their brain thinks, same tribe, safe. It's one of the fastest ways to bypass social defenses. But if you want to imprint yourself deeper, don't stop at mirroring. Once you've matched their energy, shift it slightly. If they're high energy, slow down your tone. If they're reserved, inject a bit more excitement. This tiny disruption forces their brain to recalibrate around you. Suddenly, you're not just a mirror. You're the person shaping the interaction. They unconsciously start following your tempo, your mood, your frame. And when someone adjusts themselves around you, even slightly, it locks you into a dominant space in their mind. Mastering this trick means they won't just remember meeting you. They'll remember feeling like they were pulled into your rhythm without even knowing it. 3. Touch first. Control the frame instantly. Physical touch triggers instant emotional pathways that words never reach. A light, socially acceptable touch, a handshake, a hand on the upper arm, a brief guiding touch on the back, sets the entire tone of the interaction. Touch first, and you establish the dynamic. Are you dominant, comforting, playful? Their body will assign emotional meaning to you before their mind even catches up. It's primitive, it's automatic, and once that emotional imprint forms, it's extremely hard to undo. If you hesitate or wait for them to initiate, you miss the window. Their body locks in its first impression without you controlling it. But if you touch first, you control the emotional narrative from the first second. Done correctly, a simple, deliberate touch becomes a silent declaration. I'm in control of how this connection feels. 4. Deliver a micro compliment designed to haunt them. Most compliments bounce off people. They've heard it all. Nice hair, cool outfit, great smile. Safe, generic praise doesn't leave a mark. But if you can compliment something they didn't even know was noticeable, you slice straight into their core. Find something subtle, the way they choose their words, the energy in their laugh, the slight hesitation when they think. Compliment that. Suddenly, they feel seen on a level they didn't expect. This triggers emotional obsession. The brain isn't wired to dismiss unexpected validation. They'll replay the compliment later, wondering how you noticed. And every time they do, they reinforce your place in their emotional memory. The best micro compliments are surgical strikes, quick, precise, and impossibly personal. One small sentence, but it stays echoing inside them for days. 5. Smile like you know a secret about them. Smiling triggers social ease. Everyone knows that. But the type of smile matters. A big, obvious grin relaxes people but makes you forgettable. A subtle, controlled half smile, almost as if you're amused by something they don't know, does something far more powerful. It creates an imbalance. They start wondering, why are they smiling like that? Do they see something in me? Are they mocking me? Admiring me? Their brain starts running loops looking for an explanation. This internal questioning plants fascination. They can't resolve the feeling cleanly, and unresolved emotional puzzles are sticky. They keep thinking about you long after you've left. Control the smile. It's not about being fake. It's about letting just enough mystery leak through that they can't help but want more. 6. Break the expected pattern mid-interaction. The brain loves patterns. It predicts how conversations will flow. Polite greetings, small talk, safe topics. But if you subtly disrupt that pattern without being rude or awkward, you burn yourself into their memory. Ask an unusually deep question right after saying hello. Pause unexpectedly after they say something instead of replying immediately. Mention something oddly specific about the environment. Anything that slightly derails the automatic flow. This forces their predictive brain to jolt awake. They can't coast on autopilot anymore. They have to really notice you, engage with you, adjust to you. And because emotional energy spikes during surprises, you get pinned higher in their memory. The trick is being just unpredictable enough to break expectation. But not so much that you seem chaotic. A controlled break, not a meltdown. 7. Let silence hang for half a beat longer than comfortable. Silence is one of the most underused weapons in interaction. Most people rush to fill gaps, terrified of awkwardness. But if you let silence breathe just half a beat longer than feels natural, you create tension. Tension makes people focus harder. Their brains start scrambling to make sense of the gap. They wonder what you're thinking, how you're judging them, whether they need to fix the moment. And the best part? They associate all that emotional energy, the tension, the hyper-awareness, with you. You become the source of the mental stimulation. Mastering silence makes you unforgettable, because very few people have the nerve to wield it properly. But when you do, you control the emotional air of every room you enter. 8. Tease their identity, then validate it subtly. People crave validation, but not shallow flattery. They want to feel understood at their core. One powerful trick is to lightly tease something about their self-image, a playful nudge at how they present themselves, then validate them when they defend it. For example, jokingly question their seriousness if they pride themselves on being disciplined. When they naturally push back and explain themselves, smile, and agree with their deeper value. This creates a powerful emotional loop. You make them fight to assert their identity, then reward them for doing so. Their brain bonds that feeling of self-defense and triumph to you. Even though you engineered the whole thing, you don't just become someone who noticed them. You become someone who confirmed something important about who they believe they are. 9. Create a we frame within 30 seconds. Individuality separates. Unity bonds. If you can subtly shift the frame of conversation from you and me to us, even casually, you build an invisible bridge that most people walk across without hesitation. Use small phrases. People like us always. Or, you know how we always. Even if you just met them, frame it like you're already a unit facing the world together in some small way. This we frame tricks the brain into seeing the interaction differently. Instead of deciding whether they like you, they start viewing you as already on their side, already aligned, already familiar. And once someone's brain tags you as we instead of them, you live inside their mental circle without needing to fight for entry. 10. Exit at your peak. Leave their brain starving for closure. The final trick is the timing of your exit. Most people linger too long, draining the emotional high they created. If you leave at your peak, when the energy is still buzzing, you freeze yourself in their mind at your most powerful. It feels unfinished. It leaves them wanting more. The brain hates unresolved emotional highs, and it keeps replaying the interaction, searching for closure that never comes. This constant mental replay cements you deeper into their emotional memory. They don't just remember you, they obsess over you, analyzing every detail, wondering why it felt so different. Timing your exit perfectly is what separates a fun conversation from an unforgettable imprint. Leave while they're still rising, and you will never truly leave their mind. A single greeting can do more than start a conversation. It can claim permanent space inside someone's thoughts. These dark psychology tricks are powerful because they work beneath awareness, shaping emotions, memories, and impressions without anyone realizing how. When used carefully, you don't just meet someone, you mark them. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.